Well, I hear the train coming, but I never see the band. I'm always feeling broken. I mean, what are you doing? You want to review the new Mac Demarco tracks? Okay, let's review them. What's going on, guys? I want to do a really quick review of the new Mac Demarco tracks from his forthcoming album called This Old Dog. Two tracks that came out today are the title track, This Old Dog, and My Old Man. So my first impressions with both of these tracks is that they have a much more minimalistic sound than a lot of Mac's past work. I know he has an acoustic album that's a live album he did, and he's also had some acoustic tracks like on the album 2 where he had Together and other tracks like that. But these are both kind of similar to what Mac's done in the past, but it's hard to tell if these two songs are gonna be kind of the overriding theme for the entire album. I think there's going to be like 14 tracks on there, plus all the instrumentals. He did that sort of thing on another one, the mini LP, where he put all the tracks and then he put all the instrumentals for the tracks. But yeah, like I said, these are both very minimalistic tracks. They're kind of acoustic with these subtle, kind of carefully placed synthesizer parts. And there's also a clip on Instagram of Mac with Kevin Parker from Tame Impala celebrating when they'd finished recording this new album. And you could kind of hear in the background some, very poppy kind of synthesizer stuff that recalls Mac's past work, but also I see this influence from the Yellow Magic Orchestra. Mac's been outspoken about, he's been really into them over the past year or two. I'm not sure how long, but Mac definitely has been playing the synthesizer more since Another One and trying to, kind of carve into that lane a little bit. So I'm interested to see if that will, the synthesizer will be playing more of a role in This Old Dog than in the past albums. But I know there's been tracks like Chamber of Reflection which have been, completely synthesizer focused, unless he's playing it live with a band. So I did pre-order this on iTunes. It comes out May 5th, 2017. Just these first two tracks are out so far, but there's actually 24 total tracks, but 13 of those are songs, and the other 13 are instrumentals. So it's kind of interesting. You got Baby You're Out, One Another, so a bunch of songs. I can't wait to hear these. I also wanted to comment on this album cover. You can see up here we got this sort of pyramid looking guy with a dick nose. Here's another Freemason square and compass sign. This is very reminiscent of the Makeout videotape Yin Yang album cover. I'm wondering if Mac drew this or not, but he likes to throw all these little symbols in there. I think it's kind of a joke among him, but he also put YMO for Yellow Magic Orchestra. Yin Yang, possibly shouting out Makeout videotape. He had an album called Yin Yang. So there's some interesting little symbols on there. Little doghouse. So yeah, with both of the tracks, they have this sort of classic songwriting structure to them where it's, verse, chorus, and not too much deviation there. I think when I originally heard the songs, I wasn't blown out of the water, but I was very happy when I saw that these tracks were posted on YouTube this morning. And I did enjoy them, but I listened to them again after I pre-ordered on iTunes, and they are already growing on me. And I think this sort of simplistic, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but this kind of minimalistic writing makes tracks that are more transcendent regardless of the exact time period that they're consumed in. So the track My Old Man, it kind of just seems like Mac is kind of reflecting on getting older, and he's been at this, doing this music thing for quite a few years now. Touring and, partying a little bit, drinking a little bit too much maybe sometimes. and he feels himself getting older, and he sees that there's a price for, you know, maybe both the touring lifestyle as well as, you know, decisions you make therein, whether it be drinking and partying or just from traveling around the world so much and being so busy that you kind of don't have as much time to reflect on what's going on because it's automatically on to the next thing. And I think kind of in the second verse, he's kind of like, this is, I don't know if this is right or not, but it seems like, you know, Kiera, who's his girlfriend, you know, stays at home and she's like a nanny, and he's out on the road traveling all around the world, and it's like he comes back and feels like he's not only not sure kind of where he's at emotionally, but he's also kind of not sure about the relationship. That could be totally off, but that's just kind of what kind of the essence, I guess, of what I'm trying to get at. So basically, My Old Man is about aging. I don't think Mac really knew his father. I think he was raised mostly by his mother. But he's kind of just reflecting on becoming old and just kind of like accepting it, like, uh-oh, looks like I'm becoming an old man, you know, and like he's not too shocked, but he's just like, that's kind of life, you know, you're just getting older and, you know, life is short. And to go a little further out on a limb, the song itself, you know, with that minimalistic, I hate using that word, but that repetitive kind of guitar structure and kind of bare bones instrumentation, kind of has this repetitive, it's very repetitive, so he might be kind of looking at the touring life, like he tours, drops an album, comes home, records, tours, drops an album, you know, whatever he's doing is just becoming repetitive, so I feel like the music is kind of intentionally reflecting his sentiments in that regard. I think the sort of synthesizer on that adds a little bit of brightness to it, and that he's still very happy doing what he's doing, but it is getting repetitive, and I guess that's just life. So I feel like This Old Dog is kind of in a similar vein to My Old Man, in that he's kind of talking about getting older and how a lot of things change, but that at the core of it he stays true, and he still wants people to know he's there for him, or he loves them, or something like that. And I think that's basically it. It's a very simple structure, and maybe he feels like sometimes he doesn't know how to, he doesn't say it enough, or he doesn't show it enough. So he made this song like, hey, I'm getting old, sometimes I'm not at my best, but I just want to let you know that I'll be there for you. I feel like on one hand, the lyrics are very generic, but also personal, because I know that on another one, it was more personal, and then on 2, it was more generic love songs. But so far, just based on these 2 tracks, it feels like it has both that broad sort of generic, and I'm not using that in a bad way, but kind of a broad generic appeal, but also very personal. So it's like a mix, both personal and sort of pop appeal to it. So I love these tracks. Can't wait for the rest of the album. Let me know what you guys thought down below. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.